anyways, well, welcome to SledgePad.
Yeah.
Our first podcast. We have Johnny Rabb on with us, and we're very thrilled and honored to have you on our very first podcast.
Thank you. Check out the backdrop, and we got a lamp and a curtain.
I know, that's what we were working on over here.
Yours looks great. I could change mine, but I mean, this is about kind of how it goes. I could always do the. That might look a little better. I don't even know, but
yeah. Oh, you're good.
Anyway,
9 foot tall.
We'll keep it at that. Okay.
Well,
Hotel.
we just wanted to hear a little bit about your history, because you have so many years of history with your musical education, and as far as the places that you've traveled.
Yeah.
So I guess we could start there with, if you wanted to fill us in a little bit with that.
Sure. I in a nutshell, grew up in Sacramento, California, all the way through high school, and in Carmichael, California, obviously in Northern California. So high school, junior high, those were important times for me because of learning jazz band, all sorts of styles, getting the right drum teacher. I lucked out in that fashion from having a person I'm still really close with named Mike Lawson that trained me and got me into those, like the different chairs, like from, fourth chair to first chair. And then I just kept going, and I love drums. So I did all the things you can imagine you're kind of supposed to do, the state jazz and Monterey Jazz Festival, and try to go for the solo contests. And luckily the high school was focused more on drum set for me. So huge, because then that was the entrance to my ideas of wanting to go to college for drumming and for music. So from there, went to Berkeley in Boston. Big transition for me, because I had, even though San Francisco was nearby and all that, there still wasn't a big background of cities. So once I got there and got dropped off with my folks, I was like, wow, this, yeah, total culture shock, to be honest.
Wow.
But then during that time at Berkeley, great professors and everything like that. I had lots of people that I didn't realize it then, but that went on to do really, really cool stuff. Like same year was second year after I was there, John Blackwell came in. Nate Morton was there the same year I was, Abel Royal Jr., John Roberts, Antonio Sanchez. I'm leaving a lot of folks out. I don't mean to, but just tons of people that are doing so great, right now in their careers. So it's Berkeley has put out some great players. They're already great when they were started, but they kind of spawned off some great professionals from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Lastly, just went back home for a year and got my stuff together and tried to work on things like developing the freehand technique. And then I decided to move to Nashville to pursue country touring.
Mm-hmm.
Moved there in 1996. Had a really good career there playing wise. It did take a while. I had to get the restaurant day job as a backup, which I recommend to anybody. It's the reality of life.
No kidding. No kidding. I did my share.
Yeah. And played with Tanya Tucker, Hank Williams III, which is the grandson of Hank, and the son of Hank Jr. And then I started the stick company, the Johnny Rabb Drumstick Company, kind of on accident, out of a kind of a fluke, designed the rhythm saw.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long story, but I'll kind of keep it at that. And that had some, success with international distribution, different things like that. And then I was really interested in doing educational books. So I did the Jungle Drum and Bass for acoustic.
Oh, you froze.
Time.
You froze.
Froze? Are you there?
Yeah, our connection just went a little wacky on us. Now you're back. You're okay now.
All right.
You were talking about the jungle drum.
Yeah. Had a book with Warner Brothers, and now Alfred is under their publishing, but that was exciting that, it won an award for Modern Drummer for Best Educational Book, which was exciting because it was meant to be an all-around book, but with the focus on that style of electronic
Now,
drum.
what is jungle drums?
Jungle drum and bass is not what you think. Like, it doesn't mean that it's stereotyping, percussion or Afro-Cuban. It's really, they call it jungle drum and bass, and it's also not bass guitar. It's a style of high-tempoed from like 160 BPM all the way up to 180 to 190 BPM DJ-style music. Basically, funky drummer was one of the first things, and the amen break were sped up. So it's a very high energy, it's like doing real repetitive DJ stuff. So I really got intrigued by it because it's not done normally on just an acoustic kit. It's done, was done on records in a sped up turntable or back in the day. So it became a popular genre for DJs in this underground kind of scene. So very electronically produced music. If you look up jungle drum and bass on like whatever YouTube or wherever, you'll find it, that style. So I focused on that because, as I said, it was like trying to imitate drum machines, sped up loops on drum set. So
did that lead you into the Drumeo, or what was it, the Drumometer that got you? And how did you get involved with the world record for that? It didn't get me involved with that. That was me moving to Nashville, meeting Boo McAfee. He had a drum school. That was me trying to look for teaching jobs for, drum. I was probably 23. Met Boo and showed him a VHS tape I had self-produced called Hip House Groove, which is also an electronically based type of thing for hip hop, acid jazz, and house music. Mm-hmm. And he saw the video and he said, "Man, I really like what you're doing. He didn't really have like a built-in massive student base. So you can teach here anytime." We became friends. And then he had a Nashville Percussion Institute drum day. And Simon Phillips was the headlining. And he goes, "Do you want to open up for Simon?" I said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And then at the same time, Meinl Cymbals, a young Norbert Saman, also young me, was there at the same time. And he loaned me cymbals from Meinl. And then after the clinic, he's like, "Man, you should, let's work together." That's where the Meinl relationship started, like 17 years ago now. Wow.
And so Boo had the drumometer, and I'd heard about it. He had the prototype, or the one that he had built. Mm-hmm. And my dad was with me, and I put the reset button, and then I played on it. And it was like 892. Like I ran 892 on it. I didn't even understand. He's like, "Who did that?" He came in from another room, and I said, "I just did it." He goes, "No, you did." I said, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "You do it again." And I did it again, and it was about the same or a little higher. And then he thought it was really neat. He goes, "Do you think you could break 1,000?" I said, "I don't know." And then we just kind of hung out together and trained on it.
Uh-huh.
And that eventually led him to submit it to Guinness. And that was exciting because they did recognize it as the world's fastest drummer. And of course, controversy of like, you're not the fastest. And it was a great thing at the time, and it allowed really cool events like Orlando Guinness World Records headquarters at one of their storefronts. That was fun. MTV did like a little spoof of these guys trying to beat me and mess with me. VH1 Rock and Roll Record Breakers was part of a little show, so the footage was good, and I loved Boo to death. I mean, to this day.
Very cool.
Yeah, so he's still doing it now. He had everyone from Joe Tanafanador to Tom Grossett now is doing it. Mike Mangini.
So do you hold the world record still?
No. I don't even. I'm like, they call it the original world's fastest drummer, I guess. But Mike Mangini broke it. A lot of guys broke it. It took a while, which was nice. We actually had some controversy over that, like, "Oh, it's rigged. He keeps winning the thing." But I admittedly have not stopped practicing, but I've stopped for a while. I stopped doing it on purpose because it was getting some negative, like, "It's just rigged. Johnny and Boo are in cahoots together." And I mean, the forums and stuff, I don't go to those that much, but they were lighting up with just negativity. So, but I had a positive experience with it, and really good friends with Mangini. And I mean, if you look at Joe Tanafanador's stuff he's doing on Instagram, I'm loving it because we were so locked up in that like fast thing. And to be honest with you, people would chime in going, I can jam around the toms quicker and whatever. And it was like it was all about it being a fun sport. Like you would go as a game, you know. It was like and it really is a fun way of getting your buddies together and see how fast it can go.
And as long as it was fun, it was good. And then when it started getting negative, next.
Yeah, well, it didn't, and I will tell you, it's always been positive, but it did what it was supposed to do with causing controversy. Oh, I'm faster than him. That guy's horrible. That was what we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, got all the competitive people out there. Yeah.
So to this day, I love Boo. He is in outside of Nashville, and he his focus on that. He's a great drummer himself. He's published a book, and he was in a great band in Nashville, Eric Hamilton band, and he's just a great guy. And I love that he stayed focused on his product.
That's cool.
And his vision of WFD. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very cool story. That's
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So when you broke that record, were you using your freehand style? Or
No.
It had to be singles.
Yeah, just singles using, like this is the fulcrum, and then using the fingers is mainly the, kind of finger control technique, rebounding off the
Okay.
pad. It's a Remo pad. That's the one that's connected to the trigger and then into the drumometer. So
Yeah.
no, I just worked on my singles.
Because I've watched you. You can do that with either hand. That's pretty incredible.
Oh, the freehand thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Most people struggle just to do it with their dominant hand. I see you do it.
Yeah.
And you have a freehand technique book out there, correct?
I do. That book has been out for years. The first one was an old school VHS tape that Jim Keltner actually produced. That came out in 98. And the birth of YouTube happened, and some people got a hold of the content, and they decided to make their own exactly like the VHS tape, which was a drag, based off a YouTube clinic I did.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I mean, that's how that goes. But now it's kind of the competitiveness of YouTube, and had to rethink it. That had some really good sales, the official freehand. That's why I named it the official freehand technique, because a lot of people are kind of taking it and making money on it. And put that out, and that's underneath. It's I own the book, but it's underneath Hudson Limited for distribution.
Okay.
Proud of that book too, because it really breaks down all the rhythms possible that you can get crazy doing. And
repeat that. What is that book again?
Oh, the official
freehand technique.
Okay.
Yeah. And I filmed what would have been the DVD. And let's see here. I was going to release it, and now I'm releasing it for free. Again, due to the massive amounts of property kind of taken and rebroadcast. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So it's now for free to watch over almost 3 hours of video at freehandtechnique.com is where, and all we're doing is exchanging for an email. And in that email, we're not trying to spam. We're more trying to get people that have wanted to have interest in it, try to create a community.
Yeah.
That's that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, are you going to bring back your saw stick?
Yeah. They're officially out again. Happy to say that they're the exact same dimensions, the exact same shape, used off the old template that we had from the early days. So our design is a 5/8 acorn rhythm saw. Right now they are shipping direct from Amazon Prime to homes. So Amazon.com is distributing. And yeah, you can either go look up Rhythm Saw and go there, or just JohnnyRabbDrumsticks.com, and the link is right there. Buy at Amazon now. And so I've also been trying to get, because there's a whole generation that has, I don't think, an idea what they even were.
Right.
So my job now is to say, hey, here's a stick that you can do some different rhythmic ideas and sounds, that might not be as orthodox as standard drumsticks. So,
yeah, I've seen sticks that have grooves, and it's mostly grip, not that you could actually do with it, which is incredibly creative.
I'm excited about it. I mean, when they first again, they were invented almost as a necessity to me of, I was pretending, well, what happens